That Saturday, I came home feeling completely drained. 5 straight days of work stress, endless meetings, and HOA reminder letters had destroyed my mood. All I wanted was one peaceful weekend. No phone calls, no work emails, no fake smiles for neighbors. Just me, my backyard pool, and absolute silence. That pool was the reason I bought this house 6 months ago. It wasn't huge, but it was private, surrounded by a tall wooden fence, hidden from the street, and perfect for quiet weekends. I parked in the driveway, grabbed my groceries, and smiled. Finally, peace. Then I heard it. Splashing, laughter, music, coming from my backyard. I froze. I lived alone. Nobody should have been back there. And in that moment, I knew my peaceful weekend was officially dead. I dropped the groceries and ran through the side gate. I expected maybe kids had jumped the fence. Maybe a break-in. Maybe something normal. But what I saw was insanity. My pool was full of strangers. Kids were jumping into the deep end. 2 women were floating on pool chairs with drinks. A random guy was grilling burgers on my patio. My grill, my chairs, my backyard, and sitting in the center of all of it like she owned the house was Melissa, neighborhood Karen. She wore giant sunglasses, held a lemonade, and smiled at me like I was interrupting her vacation. "Oh good," she said. "You're home." The kids needed more towels. I just stood there, because surely this had to be a joke. It wasn't. I asked the question slowly. "Why are strangers in my backyard?" Melissa looked confused. "Well, it's Saturday." Like that explained everything. Then she smiled and said the craziest sentence I had heard all year. The previous owner always let neighbors enjoy the pool. It's basically a community benefit. Community benefit? I looked around at complete strangers using my private property like it was a hotel resort. "No," I said. "This is private property. Everyone needs to leave." She laughed. Actually laughed. "Oh, don't be dramatic." That was the moment I realized something dangerous. She had been doing this for years, and nobody had stopped her. I tried one last time. "Everyone needs to leave. Right now." Some guests looked embarrassed. One woman quietly grabbed her bag. Even the guy at the grill looked uncomfortable. But Melissa stepped closer. "You're new here," she said. "You don't understand how this neighborhood works." I smiled. "No. I understand exactly how private property works." Her smile disappeared. She called me selfish, said I wasn't being neighborly, said the HOA supported shared neighborhood enjoyment. I looked at the kids doing cannonballs into my deep end. Then I looked back at her. "Good," I said. "I'm very comfortable being selfish." That ended the party. People started leaving fast. Nobody wants front row seats to HOA madness. But Melissa stayed, and the look in her eyes promised war. The last guest walked out. I stepped forward, closed the gate, locked it. Click. That tiny sound changed everything. Melissa's face turned red instantly. "You did not just lock me out." I blinked. "I'm locking everyone out." She pointed at me like I had committed a serious crime. "You cannot deny HOA members access to community amenities." I pulled out my phone and showed my property records. "This is not an HOA amenity. This is my backyard." She didn't care. Instead, she pulled out her phone and called 911. Right there, in front of me, a hostile homeowner is threatening families and denying access to community property. That's when I realized this woman had officially lost her mind. When the police arrived, half the neighborhood was secretly watching from windows. Melissa rushed to the officers like she was accepting an award. "Officer, thank God. He's threatening families and locking people out." The older officer looked tired already. He asked one simple question. "Whose property is this?" Melissa pointed dramatically at the pool. "The neighborhood's." I answered with one word. "Mine." The officer turned to me. "Do you own this home?" "Yes." "Did you invite these people?" "No." He nodded. That should have ended it. But Melissa wasn't done embarrassing herself. Melissa shouted loudly, "He threatened families." I calmly opened my phone and showed security footage from my backyard camera. No threats, no yelling, just me standing there confused while strangers used my pool. The officer watched silently, then handed my phone back and said one word: trespassing. Silence. He looked directly at Melissa. He has every legal right to remove trespassers from his property. Trespassers. That single word hit her harder than anything else. She screamed, "This is harassment." The second officer replied calmly, "No, ma'am. This is called someone locking their own gate." Even the neighbors watching looked embarrassed for her. But somehow, the real problem hadn't even started yet. A few days later, I checked my mailbox. That's when things got weird. Inside was a pool maintenance invoice, but it wasn't addressed to me. It was addressed to the HOA, with my home address listed. Then I found another: pool cleaning, chemical treatment, equipment repair, all for my pool, all paid through the HOA. I sat there staring at those papers. Something felt wrong, very wrong. Why would HOA money be paying for my private pool? Unless someone had been lying for years. And suddenly, Melissa's behavior made terrifying sense. That night, I searched everything: old HOA newsletters, budget reports, emails, previous owner documents. And slowly, the truth started showing itself. Melissa had been calling my private pool a shared recreational asset. For years, she told neighbors their HOA fees paid for community pool access. Except there was no community pool, only mine. She had turned my backyard into her personal HOA fantasy. Then I called the previous owner. The moment I said Melissa's name, he laughed. "Oh," he said, "Pool Melissa." That told me everything. And what he said next made my blood run cold. "She's been doing this for years." I printed every invoice, every email, every lie. Then I walked into the next HOA board meeting. Melissa was there smiling like she ruled the neighborhood, until she saw the folder in my hands. Then I stood up. "I'd like to discuss why HOA funds were used for my private pool." The room went silent. I placed the invoices on the table. One by one, people leaned forward. Faces changed. Anger spread fast. One neighbor stood up. "Wait! My HOA fees paid for that?" Another shouted, "You told us it was community property." Melissa tried to explain, but every sentence made things worse. For the first time, HOA Karen had no control. By the end of the meeting, Melissa was removed from the HOA board. Investigation pending. Neighbors were furious. The HOA officially confirmed the truth. The pool was private property. Always had been. Residents would be reimbursed. Melissa disappeared from neighborhood events. No more fake authority. No more speeches. Just silence. I installed new locks, new cameras, and one beautiful sign on the gate: private property, not a community experience. The next Saturday, I sat by my pool alone, quiet, peaceful, exactly how it should be. Funny thing is, she called 911 because I locked my own pool. But that one phone call unlocked every lie she had been hiding for years.